In this video, we're going to create a Wonder Woman fan art. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Rex World. Today we're going to create an artwork for Wonder Woman in Photoshop. You're going to see some techniques that will be very useful to you. For this, I'm going to use a picture of Claudia Doumit. You might recognize her from The Boys as Victoria Newman or Farah from Call of Duty. This is not a fan cast, although I think she can definitely pull it off. So without further ado, let's get started. To start things out, I'm going to cut out the subject using pen tool. Notice I'm taking a rough selection when it comes to the hair. This is because I will refine the selection later on. After the selection is complete, I'm going to mask out the subject, then right click on the mask layer and go to select and mask. Then I'm going to use the refine edge brush tool to get back some of those hair. Then using the brush tool, I'm going to sketch out where the armor is going to be. This helps me focus on where to place the costume parts. Next, using this image of Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, I'm going to cut out the crown. Then I'll duplicate this layer, invert it horizontally, and make it symmetrical. Then for the time being, I'm going to place it on her head. Next, I'm going to sketch out the costume pieces roughly to get a better understanding of where to place each asset and on what angle. I used different colors to separate different costume parts. Also, I'm aiming to get the new 52 look. Same as the crown, I'm going to use this image to cut out the chest piece and the red armor parts and later duplicate them and invert them horizontally and merging both to make them symmetrical. Now with the help of my sketch, I'm going to place both armor pieces using transform and warp. This doesn't have to be too accurate since we're not going to see much in the final image. After the placement looks good, I'm going to cut out the unnecessary bits. Next, I'm going to remove the white cloth on her shoulder using the brush tool. This was done using the soft brush tool and the flow down to 7%. Then for the neck area, I'm going to start adding some highlights. And also adding some color using a hue and saturation adjustment layer. To give it more detail, I use this elastic texture from Google and clip it on top of the neck area layer and warping it using transform and warp. Later, I'm going to use Blend If to reveal the highlights and shadows. Next, I'm going to create masks for individual layers to reveal some of the hair and hide the extra parts of the armor. Now you can see they are all slowly blended together. Then, to give the chest piece a little thickness instead of looking like it was a 2D layer, I'm going to create a new layer and give some depth. I want to add a silver ring around her neck. For this, I'm going to draw the ring using the brush tool. Then using a soft brush tool, I'm going to add some shadows and highlights on top of the old layer. Now for the lasso of truth, I got this PNG of a normal rope off of Google, and I'm going to convert this into a smart object and give some curve using puppet tool. I'm going to add one layer to the front and another layer to the back. And for the background, I'm gonna give a very gloomy atmosphere. And using an exposure adjustment layer, I'm gonna make the subject dark. And for the lasso, using blending options, I'm gonna give an outer glow and an inner glow. Then copy the layer style and paste it onto the back layer. Now to each individual piece, I'm gonna add some simple shadows. This was done using the soft brush tool. Now to get the white out of the hair, I'm going to create a new layer, clip it on top of the subject layer and start painting out with the soft brush tool. Then I'm going to work on the main highlight. With the exposure layer, we're going to add some shadows. Now to get the yellow light from the lasso to the subject's body, I'm going to create a hue and saturation adjustment layer and tick colorize and increase the lightness and start adding yellow highlights. I'm selecting each individual pieces and giving them different highlights. I'm using two hue saturation adjustment layers, one for hard lines and one for the soft glow. One more thing I forgot was that Wonder Woman has blue eyes, so I quickly changed her eye color using a hue and saturation. Later, I kept on going by adding yellow highlights for the rest of the layers until I got something like this. Then for the atmosphere, I started adding some smoke. I mixed the colors with blue and yellow and gave it a hazy effect. Then for the lasso layers, to give it a bit of blur, I used the pad blur. And with some color lookups, camera raw filter and a field blur, we are pretty much done. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, but more importantly, I hope you learned something new from it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and comment, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to see future videos and content like this. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.